If you like this episode, please subscribe, share with others, rate and review so we can continue to bring you great programming.
This is The Thing About Cars, a podcast for car enthusiasts and the people who love them.
This is The Thing About Cars. I'm one of your hosts, Mickey Desai. Around the table, we have a full complement today, all the way from the Netherlands. It's Misty. How are you, Misty?
Sunny and not moist.
Not moist is good. Well,
It's a miracle.
I'm going to retract that.
Yeah.
Can we redact that? Yes. Anyway, Ben, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing spiffy. I'm just great. Dave, how are you?
I'm
General
doing
opinion-
good, man.
Other Dave.
Oh, there's two Daves.
There's two
Duh.
Daves. Let's do
Okay,
it.
so for the rest of this, I'm going to be Paulie.
Paulie.
Paulie is well accessorized today.
And our guest, David Marks, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks
And
for having me.
I'm glad you guys are here. Jay, what's going on? Jay Grossman, D1 and
I am
only.
here and excited to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, please, before we get into this, because I've got a couple of announcements before we jump into our guest segment. Well, hang on. Before we get there, let me ask our trivia question for the day, which is, I had it here a moment ago, and then I had to reboot my computer because it's being persnickety today. I had a really cool trivia question, too.
Persnickety would be the technical term.
Persnickety is a technical term. That is correct.
Are you sure there wasn't a shark attack on an internet cable?
I'm pretty sure there was no shark involved.
True story.
Wolverine, maybe?
Wolverine, perhaps. In this house, that is entirely possible.
Rabbit badger.
Or
Honey
maybe,
badger.
Honey
maybe-
badger.
maybe, Mickey, it's because you are such a just completely radiant, sunny personality that you're actually generating your own sunspots.
Oh my God.
Did you just EMP your own home network?
Stranger things have happened. I got 4 vaccines on Friday, 4 immunization vaccines. Having not seen a regular immunization schedule since probably the early 90s, I decided to go get caught up. And the doc said, you can have 4, no more. And then the pharmacist says, you can have 4 and not a 5th. So I went to the pharmacy and she shot me up, and Friday night was miserable. Saturday was painful but livable. And today I'm just fine. I'm just,
But apparently hazardous to your own network.
Apparently I'm irradiating something today. Yes. So, yeah.
That
All right.
5G, man.
All right. So Jay and Dave, we ask a trivia question at the top of every episode. We answer it at the end of every episode. So let's start with that, and then we'll get into the fun stuff here. The trivia question for today, provided by our trivia czar, Tim. He says, he asked, what was the last car offered with T-tops, also known as a T-bar roof? Was it a Buick Regal? Was it a Ford Thunderbird? Was it a Camaro / Firebird? Same car, right? Twins. Or was it a Suzuki X90? I remember that Suzuki. I think it did come out with T-tops, didn't it? Yeah. So shall I read those choices again?
Sure.
Well, I got some questions about how to answer this.
Okay. It's a multiple choice question, right?
It's a multiple choice.
It's multiple choice. We'll
Okay, how
well,
specific does it? I think I know it, but how specific do I gotta be?
you don't have to be specific at all.
Specific. Okay, I'll wait till the end because I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Yeah. So
I know.
yeah.
I know it, I think.
I think I have an idea, considering the car that my husband picked me up in 25 years ago to start this really amazing adventure.
You're giving clues.
So
I'll just go on the record as saying I'm freaking clueless on this one.
So Suzuki X90 is one of the choices. Camaro / Firebird is another one of the choices. And then the other two are Ford Thunderbird and Buick Regal. So one of those is the correct answer. We'll answer that at the end of the show. Jay and David, how did we meet? Was it Reddit?
One of our, I think it was our podcast producer
Yeah.
connected us. I don't know. Somehow you connected with him, and he's like, "Hey, we got these fun people that like to talk about cars," and we're like, "Yay, we do."
It must have been Reddit then when I connected with your producer. Please tell us, the rest of the gang, the name of your podcast. And
Our podcast, it's called the Auto Authorities Podcast.
Yeah.
TheAutoAuthorities.com.
TheAutoAuthorities.com. I joined you guys for an episode. It must have been a couple months ago now at this rate, and I had a blast with you two. That was a ton of fun. Thank you for having me on. I'm glad you guys can join us today. Can you tell us more about, well, how did you guys meet? How did you two get involved with each other? And what does your podcast cover?
Want me to go, Dave?
Yeah, actually, how we met is I also repair cars and I sell cars. And when I was selling a car, and one of his agents reached out to me about selling it to see if it help him. And then and then too, I don't know, I can't speak for Jay, but I'll speak for myself. Is me and Jay network with a lot of the same people, and I just had a lot of people telling me, you need to meet this guy, you need to meet this guy, and we met, we become really good friends and business partners and do a lot together. And it just has grown and grown and grown over the years.
That's fantastic.
That really is. I joined the thing about cars is the result of a hostage situation.
I joined because Donna probably tricked Mickey into it.
Donna, yeah.
Of course, you also have to understand Donna was present for the birth of my first and only child, and when the nurse said when the doctor said he was sunny side up because he was face up, she leaned over and asked my husband, "Does that mean he wasn't done yet?"
Which Donna? Wait a minute. We don't need to get off on this tangent.
Right.
I said Donna said that. Tall redhead.
Yeah,
that
I know.
Donna.
Yeah.
Back on track, Mickey.
Back on track.
She's an
Yes.
amazing woman. I love Donna.
She is amazing. I have very fond
Love
memories
Donna.
of Donna. She's great. So Jay, you do something very specific in the world of cars, which I think is really, really cool. How does it work? How do you make money off of it?
Yeah, so we have two different divisions. My company is called iAutoAgent, where the I stands for integrity. So our website is iAutoAgent.com, and we have two different divisions. The division that is nationwide is we help people buy cars nationwide. We keep you from having to go to big bad dealer. We handle everything from A to Z in the entire buying process, vetting the entire vehicle, and representing that consumer all the way till the end. We tee the deal up literally for our clients so they don't ever have to step foot in the dealer until they approve the deal. And truly that's how it works. We work nationwide. We help people with new and pre-owned vehicles, and especially right now is probably the hardest time to buy vehicles, not just new but pre-owned too. It's just very complicated, and I spent 18 years in the dealership world, and I just really wanted to provide a better experience for people buying and selling cars. And then the other part of our company, we also help people sell cars. That is not nationwide yet, but coming soon. We help people market, list, show their car at no cost to them. And we keep them from ever having to ever meet a strange person at a strange place.
Huh. Okay. So, I mean, I'm going to open it up for all of us. I have a few questions to ask, but I'm sure the others do too.
Sure.
Is meeting a strange person at a strange place really a big deal for folks when it comes to buying a car?
Oh, absolutely. There are so many scams out there. And I'm also an automotive advisor on Fox and CBS here in St. Louis. And I get a lot of TV time because people make very bad decisions when it comes to that. Yes, there are people getting killed, literally just going and selling a car. So we meet at police stations for all of our showings when we are selling a car for somebody. And usually dealers are pretty safe, but that's part of our vetting process too, because not all dealers are safe. And Google reviews will tell you very, very quickly which ones to work with and which ones not to work with.
Okay.
Or you can just ask me in my town.
Yeah, because we had a lady that she got screwed by a little independent dealer that was running scheme after scheme. He would screw people, and then he would close up that dealer and open up a different dealer and a different name and just repeat the process.
Good grief.
Wow. Well, that was a terrible story. It was actually a single mom with 3 kids. One of them with special needs. They needed a minivan. Went and met this guy at a Dollar Tree. The guy shows up, and I know you guys know this, with a scanner around his neck. And the first thing he said to this lady is like, "Oh, there are no codes on this. There's no codes." Why would he even say that? So 20 minutes later, she pulls out, pays him cash, the car breaks down in the middle of the road while they're driving with the kids.
Oh no.
So then the guy basically told the lady to go pound sand. I think I got in contact with her because I saw her story on Facebook and it really hit a note with me. And I'm like, listen, I'm an automotive advisor on TV. I've got connections out the wazoo. I'll help you with this. So to make a long story short, I helped her get her $5,300 back in a really long story, making it short. And she was just amazed because this guy was not going to give her money back until I brought the big guns in.
Yeah, that guy violated. He somehow had a dealer's license, and me and Jay know the rules for having a dealer license here in the state of Missouri. And we told her who to call, who to contact, and she did that.
Yes.
And they contacted him and pretty much said, give her money back or else was not worth it to the guy. So he gave her money back. But this is stuff that guys that people don't know. Everybody's got a big brother. I have a big brother. I mean, big brother, like, authorities that look over businesses that are run. Me and Jay have people that, if we pull some wrong stuff, they're going to come in here and that's not going to be pretty.
Right.
We do things the right way, so we don't have to worry about that. But people don't know when it comes to automotive, who's big brother to call. They're clueless. And we informed her who to call and how to do everything. And then next, she got her money back.
That's very cool.
Yeah, because let's be honest. I'm the car person in the family. My husband's really good with computers. He's really good with accounting. I do the car thing. I grew up in a garage, pretty much, and
Which
it's not
explains
quite
a
as
lot. Explains a lot.
probably
That answers a lot of questions, Mickey.
Yes, it answers a lot of questions.
especially considered when I was a toddler, there was still lead in gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
That probably explains everything. And I have to admit, it's not quite as bad here in the Netherlands. But the number of times I've been in a dealer, with my husband, and I'm sitting here going, no, this is the drive out price that I want. And they look at my husband and I'm like, I'm sorry. Did
Jay
you
is like, look at
miss?
the.
Yeah, so I'm like, did you miss? And I deal with a lot of scammers too in my line of work, which is housing.
Housing is a very
rental
different set
housing.
of scams. That's right.
Yeah, but but still, the fact that I'm just so mad right now. If you ever need an enforcer, give me a call because I've got like 2 cast iron pans right over there.
The problem, Misty, is that you're on the other side of the ocean from us. That's kind of
Hi,
hard.
Delta is ready when I am.
Whereas I'm probably 3 times your size and well armed on top of that. So,
only about half as mean on a bad day.
That's
for
true.
you.
That's probably true. I am not that mean. I'm actually rather.
I do think David though made a really good point that
Mhm.
probably it's good for all consumers to know, because I was looking at beg the question for me. We're in Atlanta. How do you report a car dealer in Georgia?
Yeah.
Probably one of the best ways to start is Googling, how do I report a car dealer? Because my goodness, I'm overwhelmed with the number of responses, for the different states. So complaints against car dealership and car fraud are not a infrequent occurrence in this country.
Nope.
Right.
Very, very frequent.
Well,
Yes.
I
most
have a-
dealers, they go through the local Department of Motor Vehicle division, however that's set up with that state. Me and Jay get our dealer's licenses through the Missouri Department of Revenue. They have a division dedicated for dealers, and also the Highway Patrol, the Missouri State Highway Patrol. I need to call them. They're supposed to come out here and sign my application, do my license. But one of our big brothers, for at least here in the state of Missouri, is the Missouri State Highway Patrol. I'm waiting for them to come out to sign my application so I can renew mine. So every state's different, but in a nutshell, they all go through, the state Department of Motor Vehicles, however they call that.
Two things. They go to the Department of Revenue and they go to the Attorney General. Those are the biggies. And you do that, and Better Business Bureau, of course, but you do that, they're not going to be too happy, the scammer. So they may and that's truly what happened. Why this lady got her money back is because the Attorney General got involved with it, and they basically made her do it. And he was not happy. And she had him on video too when she got her money back, because she wanted to make sure that there was proof of what was happening. And
didn't you make him meet him at a police station?
Oh yeah, she made him meet at a police station with a police officer there. Yep.
Wow, that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's why we do what we do. I mean, that's what the Auto Authorities podcast is all about. It allows us to go on our, like, really say how we feel and not be limited on what we can and can't do. And we can go on our platform because we all know perception is not reality. When you see this crap on TV and some of these companies, they're not what you think they are.
Right.
And we'll call them out.
Yep.
Guys, I've got a great idea. Now, usually at this point, my manager at work runs, but I think you're a little braver than him. Why don't we start a page on the Thing About Cars website? Just kind of a directory of who to call on a state-by-state basis. It would take some research, but I think that would also be a valuable service that we could provide.
I think it might be more efficient if we simply link out to their website and they have the list.
Do y'all have a list?
No, I don't have a list. We just know who to call in the state of Missouri.
No,
Missouri.
we're in our little bubble.
Right. So in Georgia, it's the Secretary of State's office. Secretary of State's office manages the licensing, if you will, of used car dealers across the state. And so you can register a
Car
complaint with
dealers, hairdressers, cemeteries.
there's like 43 different things that are licensed through the Secretary of State's office, and they don't include real estate, medicine, or I don't even know. There's a variety of things that they slowly get moved out from the Secretary of State's office, which is fine because, anyway. So, but while we're losing the show,
I want to hear more about how these guys have helped, especially women, because it's so often that women are the victims of scams when it comes to automotive, stuff.
Well, and on top of Misty's question, I would ask, you guys have a nationwide presence, but you're headquartered in Missouri.
So a little different. So I have a nationwide presence at iAutoAgent. Dave has a local presence in St. Louis because he has a shop that he's a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we have a really good mix of buying, selling, and repairing cars.
If I wanted to get your help in buying a car here in Atlanta, how would that work?
You simply go to our website. We have a vehicle finder link where you just go to vehicle finder, you fill out what you're looking for, and within less than 24 hours, you'll get a link to schedule a 15-minute call. We call it our matchmaking session.
Cool.
And that's where we really get a good feel and lock. So we have 13 people in the company. One of our buyer's agents will get the information, and we will then put together an agreement. And the agreement basically says you compensate iAutoAgent when you move forward and you approve the deal. If you don't move forward and approve the deal, you don't pay us anything. We work on a complete contingency basis.
Okay, so that's it. So is there a flat fee for engaging your services, or is it like a percentage thing? Okay.
Yeah. So basically, when you decide that you want to move forward with it, again, we handle everything, including being your lifeline when you're at the dealership. So we not only schedule your test drives, but when you actually get to the dealership, we're your lifeline. So if things don't go the way that we planned them to, we get on the phone and we talk to the dealer and make sure that our clients are taken care of. Yeah.
Very cool. That's cool. So, I mean, I had it in the back of my mind to give you a call for your help once I finish buying a house with my wife. We're hoping that the market settles down at least a little bit and we can purchase a house sometime this winter. And then the dream car would follow. But the call is going to say something like, David, I really want a screaming Mopar, a Challenger or a Charger with a big fat gas guzzling engine in it, something I can outrun the cops in, and that's what it's gonna
Sounds like a fun car.
Yeah,
that does beg a question though. Do you guys find that you get an uncommon number of requests for one car, and is it surprisingly mundane?
Yes.
Are you overwhelmed with requests for a 1982 Celica?
No. What I'm overwhelmed, and I know Dave feels this way, and this is more in Dave's category, is the $5,000 and under car.
I could sell 10 of those a day, 8 days a week.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Wow.
seriously, everybody in the world wants a $5,000 car. We're actually getting ready to do our podcast, the one that's going to come on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be talking about the bubbles bursting right now, and the market is dropping right now on used cars. And what it's not dropping is under $10,000 cars.
So the under $10,000 cars are still in demand because that's what people are obviously seeking.
They're always in demand.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
They're recession proof, economy
Boom.
proof,
Yep.
Kelly Blue Book proof.
Yep.
It's kind of, I just make up, this is what I want. It's take or to leave it. If not, good luck.
Right.
And if you think about it, over the last 20 years, 30 years ago, when I bought bought a car for under $5,000, I think my first car was $2,500. It was, it was kind of a crapshoot. But over the last 30 years, cars have gotten so much more reliable and better built that an under $5,000 car, if you can find one, may not be the piece of crap that it was, in the 80s.
Depends, it when you're talking $5,000. So what I always consult with people on, iAutoAgent sells cars to David's company when, like, let's say people don't want to fix them up. Dave can do it. He'll fix them up and he'll turn them for a profit. And he sells to a lot of his clients. So that's great. But if you go to a dealership and you find a $5,000 car, you're buying a $750 car or $1,000 car because of the margin. So we always tell people, go to private owners, and that is another huge feat in itself, is to go to a private owner and then find a private owner that's not playing like they're a private owner when they're really a dealer, or they're a curb stoner and they're just flipping cars. There's tons of those out there.
Yeah.
And then too, a lot of the private owners, they don't know cars. I've had my customers buy something from a private owner. That individual may have been as honest as Mother Teresa, but then they're in the car over here and like, well, it needs $2,500 worth of work because it needs this.
Right.
Because people do so. I mean, what me and Jay preach and pound in people's heads is get that used car inspected, especially if it's outside the factory bumper to bumper warranty. Get it inspected by a certified technician before you buy it. And then if they won't let you do that, then walk away.
Right.
It's that simple.
That's absolutely the truth.
If you've never heard a song called $1,000 Car by a band called the Bottle Rockets, look it up.
That's why my customers like buying stuff from me, because they know, well, Dave's fixed it, he's inspected it.
Yep.
And if something breaks, the first 30 days he'll fix it.
Yep.
I can remember growing up, like I said, my granddad was a mechanic. It was literally like a one bay Shell station that still had the rubber hose that went dingy, 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 dingy.
Wait, how did it go? How did it go,
Dingy,
Misty?
dingy, 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 dingy. But
We've been looking for new theme music. That might do it.
Dingy, 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 dingy.
but he would he would buy cars, and my grandfather was blessed with perfect pitch, so he would listen to the cars, and I remember the owner of the service station, Scotty cussed him up one side and down the other for 6 months because it was like a 57 Ford. Yeah, my mom owned a Ford. That's why I don't talk to her anymore. It was the turquoise and white, fins, front bench seat. A guy brought it in. He said, yeah, it's thrown a rod. And Scotty said, I'm not going to touch that even for $250. But this was like back in the 80s, like early 80s. My papa, he listened to it. He said, I'll take it. Turns out just one of the pistons was a little bit out of time, a little bit out of line. So it was knocking. It actually hadn't thrown a rod. Scotty was so mad at him. He got that car fixed up, and my mama drove that car almost till the doors fell off. But that's, I'm pretty sure my grandfather never bought anything brand new, not even lawnmowers, like riding lawnmowers. He'd go to the junkyard and buy one for like $5, and it looked like it was just held together with good wishes and duct tape.
Yep.
Barbed wire. That's for fancy people, Mickey. My God. We don't do barbed wire where I'm from, thank you. It's duct tape and spit.
Fair enough.
And bubble gum.
Only on the good months. Only on the good months. So and I'll never understand it. My grandpa was as country as the day is long. he worked pretty much solely, if he could get away with it, on Dodge, GMC, and Chevrolet. But he always drove an Opel.
Oh no kidding.
Mm.
His very last car was this little Opel Kadett. And he had worked on that thing for years. My grandpa had a stroke, so he couldn't talk very plain. He'd lost a lot of speech, and my mother had taken him down to get his hearing aids because, years of working in a garage, David, you know what I'm talking about. That can have an effect on your hearing. They were coming back from the VA hospital, and he kept fiddling with his hearing aid and tapping, and Mama looked at him, and she says, "Daddy, what's wrong?" And he looked at her. He says, "Dagnabbit, I got this damn car quiet." Because he had worked for years to get this car to run quietly. And all he had done was get it below his hearing threshold. And then he got hearing aids, and he was like, okay, fine, I give up.
Ruined his life.
Yeah. Yep.
God, just because of hearing aids.
I know.
Damn,
Modern
technology sucks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, let's wrap the guest segment here. I mean, we've not been laughing our way through this, but I think there's no way to laugh your way through the seriousness of getting a big brother figure to walk you through the car buying process, especially if you don't have the knowledge or the backing or, friends in your stable that know how to deal with cars. So first of all, again, I'm glad you guys could join us on the show today. How do people find you?
So if you want to contact iAutoAgent, our website is I-like-integrity, autoagent.com, or you can even call us at 636-614-3711. And then the Auto Authorities podcast website is theautoauthorities.com. And you can also find us on our Facebook group page, The Auto Authorities Podcast.
TheAutoAuthorities.com podcast. That's what I'm forgetting.
Well, there's two different ones. TheAutoAuthorities.com.
Yep.
That's on our website. And then on our Facebook page, it's a group page called The Auto Authorities Podcast.
Got it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks, you guys. We have a standard of questions that we ask at the end of every guest segment. So I'm going to put these questions to you. Three of them are the same. So, and then the fourth one is random, picked from a larger list of just silly and, just silliness. So first question, what's your dream car? Dave?
It would be what I had once upon a time that I let go, was a 68 Mustang Coupe.
Ah,
sweet.
Yeah, very cool. Jay?
Mine's a little different,
yeah,
but they both have four wheels. Mine's a Ferrari 488.
Ah,
very cool. All right. Where's your next road trip, Jay?
The next road trip, because I just got back from Anna Maria Island, and I would like to actually go back there again.
There you go. I've never been there.
Oh, unbelievable.
Okay. Anna Maria Island. I'm putting that on the list. David?
Well, me and the wife, we recently drove to Colorado. We're going to Vegas the week of Thanksgiving weekend on a getaway. I mean, that's what we got planned for that. I mean, I love getting in the car and driving, but yeah. Vegas is a little bit too far of a drive.
Vegas is a bit of a haul. That's true.
Yeah, from St. Louis it is. It's about 12,000 something miles. Not 12,000, 1,200.
I was going to say that's a lot.
That's an easy day.
Actually,
I was about to say.
Yeah, you're driving to Vegas via Cancun.
Yeah.
Is that on the same planet?
I'm going on a road trip this coming Friday.
Where are you going?
To Venaros, which is about 90 minutes north of Valencia, Spain. And we are driving. We are leaving on Friday morning. We are overnighting just south of Lyon in France, which then my husband has to do all of the talking because I don't speak French and I steadfastly refuse.
So you don't like, what about you don't like Fords and you don't like French?
I like French food. I just don't like the language. Bothers me. Gives me nerves. I can't hear different. See, that's the problem. Like in Dutch, I can hear things. I can hear the difference between a V and an F. In German, I can hear differences. In Spanish, I can hear differences. In Italian, I can hear differences. In French, I cannot hear the difference between girl and girls. And it bothers me.
All right, hold on.
And we're drifting out of traffic again.
Yeah, we're getting way out of yeah, exactly. Dave, what's the most fascinating thing you've seen on the road or in someone's house or garage?
So the most fascinating I've seen on the road or in someone's garage?
Yeah.
Man, I
It's-
can't.
It's a hard question. I mean, it's meant to. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't I don't know. I got me kind of you got I mean on the road, I mean there's nothing better than driving down I-70 and then when the mountains start to peak over the horizon and as you drive they just get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's one of the coolest things I've experienced driving and we just did that recently a couple months ago driving from St. Louis off from I-70 to Colorado.
That is very cool.
Denver.
Yes, absolutely. Because 70 goes right into Denver, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes it does.
Yeah. I did my grad work in Denver, but it was some time ago, and I'm having trouble remembering the map. But yeah, no, that's very cool. Jay, what do you think?
Well, I could tell you two different things. When I was selling Ferraris in California and brokering exotic cars, one of our clients had a car collection, and there were old Indy like cars in this collection with exotic cars, and they were all like lined up, and it was just like it looked like artwork. Like
Yeah.
It was incredible.
That's very cool. So Indy cars?
Indy cars.
No kidding.
Yes, he had several of them in there, and he had exotic cars. It was really interesting working in Calabasas, California.
What made it interesting?
Just the people that you meet. You just never know who you're going to meet, a celebrity or what, just going to this car collection was just amazing.
Yeah. There's probably more I want to ask you about the transition between Calabasas, California, and Missouri. But let's go on to question number 4. My random question. I have one question for each of you. Dave, if you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done?
If I was arrested with no, I'm gonna say okay, what did you steal?
What did you steal? All right, cool. Jay, if what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
That's a good one.
I think hockey.
Hockey with alcohol.
Oh yeah, I grew up
100%.
playing ice hockey. Hockey and alcohol, they go hand in hand.
That would be
Are you assuming there's not a mandatory amount of alcohol in hockey?
Apparently. I mean, I'm from the
Oh,
South.
I played 1 year college hockey. We never won a game, but never lost a brawl. And a lot of drinking was involved.
That's
That's
good
cool.
one.
That's too funny. I've got one not guest thing. It's I read this article. This is from Ars Technica before we answer the trivia question and wrap the show. But someone did some research that actual physical buttons are scientifically better and safer than touch screens in cars. So
Yeah, the CNBC had a episode about that. How touchscreens are actually more dangerous than texting.
exactly.
Because it takes longer and there's more. It takes takes people's attention more away than texting does. Like my
Wow.
old Ford pickup, there's knobs. I can
Yep.
drive and just reach down, turn the HVAC on, and it's plain Jane. It's got power locks, windows, and my radio hooks up with the phone.
Yep.
That's it. But yeah, touchscreens are way more dangerous than knobs.
Yep, I've heard that over and over again. So finally, there's a Swedish magazine called I can't even pronounce this.
Don't try. You'll hurt
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, so we're going to call it VB for short, but they tested 11 new cars alongside a 2005 Volvo C70, timing how long it took to perform a list of tasks in each car. And those tasks included simple things like turning on the seat heater, increasing the cabin temperature, turning on the defroster, adjusting the radio, and so on and so forth. And the old Volvo came out on top every single time because it had no touch screen. It was just buttons
No.
and knobs.
It's
And
easy.
It's easy. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fine. Go ahead, Ben.
That's one of the things I love about this Mazda that I've got now. The only screen it has is fairly small. It's at the top of the dashboard near the windscreen, so it's not too far out of your line of sight. And while you can touch it, you can manipulate everything on it with the knob next to the seat.
I'm over here doing my bobblehead impression because I have a 2016 Mazda Miata or an MX-5.
She named it Claudette, you guys.
Her name is Claudette.
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 After my grandpa's name was Claude. And that's what I love about the Mazda, because above a certain speed, the touchscreen actually disengages. And you have to do, I mean, it's like I have a console, I have a button here that I can, everything. My seat heaters are all buttons, all of the climate controller buttons, so, and anything else, volume, etc. Because it's my personal opinion that when I leave for work at 6:30 a.m., everybody should enjoy Lincoln Park with me in my neighborhood, because I'm a kind and considerate neighbor. If it's not that, then it's probably Phantom of the Opera. Multifaceted, so I feel much safer. It's like I don't, the BMW that my husband has, which he only has it till February when he gets a Mazda 6. I don't like it. Because I don't have the, like if I'm driving home and I'm like, okay, now I'm on the part of the road I know, I just turn the knob, cancel, done.
Well,
whereas on the BMW, I'm like.
So the argument for touchscreens is cost, really, because you don't have to manufacture a new button and a new part of a wiring harness for each
that's what
function.
CNBC said. It's way cheaper.
Yeah, that and just the sheer amount of real estate required for a certain number of functions. If all the things that you have controllable in cars today was all laid out with buttons, your car would look like the cockpit of a 747.
Exactly. Which I wouldn't mind driving that, really, if I could.
Right, yeah.
Or a Formula One car.
Yeah. Of course, they have it all.
Eventually, it's going to go to voice activation, where you go,
right.
Hey, whatever, turn the heat on, set it to 60 degrees, turn on my AC. I mean, that's the next step.
Activating.
Hopefully, it will not be based in Siri, because Siri and I are in couples counseling.
Did you rename her computer and then forgot when you were watching the Star Trek reruns?
I tried to rename mine has a male voice. I tried to rename it Mal, and apparently, just like no, Dave. I might as well hear it.
That's funny.
Hearing Dave's voice, that's too funny. Yes, activating cryogenic mode now. Just gonna freeze your ass. So yes, the buttons thing. There's pure science now that says. Or at least I shouldn't say it's science. There's been some actual research that says buttons are better than touchscreens for a number of reasons. So, all right, you guys. Yep.
Traffic fatalities have actually gone up. This new tech has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Let's answer our trivia question and then wrap the episode, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's shall.
Let's do. Let's shall. The question was, what was the last car offered with T-tops, also known as a T-bar roof? Was it a Ford Thunderbird? Was it the Camaro/Firebird offering from GM? Was it a Suzuki X90? Or was it a Buick Regal? Dave, you want to take the first shot?
I think it's a Thunderbird. The last generation.
I think it's a Thunderbird. Okay, got it. Jay, what's your guess?
It was going to be the Camaro and Firebird, but I'm probably wrong.
Okay, Dave Pauly.
First of all, I will, even if it's the X90, I will not say it, because that was one of the 3 ugliest cars ever made.
It's so true.
I'm going to go with Firebird.
Firebird? Right on.
I'm with Jay on this one.
Misty, what do you think?
I'm going to say Firebird, because I can tell you for a matter of fact that in 2000, they had the T-tops, because in 1999, my husband picked me up for our very first date in a 1999 Firebird that had amazing force suspension and blue-green and the black-green paint, and then he wrecked it, and I get a new one. But it had T-tops, and that first car, the 1999 car, I did the Atlanta to Tampa run in 7.5 hours.
Ben, what do you think?
I got to go with the Firebird just because yesterday I happened to catch an old rerun of Knight Rider in which somebody got ejection seated through the T-tops. So
it's true. It was the Camaro Firebird.
Really? That's last generation Thunderbird. They didn't make them with T-tops?
No, they didn't. No.
I didn't think so either. I didn't think it was the Thunderbird.
Well, the Firebird Camaro that got discontinued in 2000. In the early 2000s, 2004,
2000,
something like that.
That's right. And it's probably like a J body type or something that I some letter designation that I'm getting.
Pontiac Firebird Camaro was F body,
right?
Is what it was, because on General Motors, fortunate to the VIN numbers, the body code.
That's right.
Yeah, because I think was it 2002, 2003, we were looking for a new car, and he got the Grand Prix, whichever
I could
the.
have swore that that last generation Thunderbird, they had T-tops, but I guess I was wrong.
No. So the there's a little bit of added information here. I'm not sure it's going to fill out the answer at all, but so the answer is C. The T-tops days end with the demise of the 4th generation Camaro and Pontiac Firebird following the 2002 model year. While removable roof panels live on in the likes of the Chevrolet Corvette and Porsche 911, these setups lack the T-top central bar that connects the windshield header with the rear roof panel.
Yeah.
And I think the Firebird you're thinking of, sorry, Dave, I think the Thunderbird you're thinking of was just a flat out convertible, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Isn't that removable roof called a Targa top?
I don't.
Usually, yeah. If it opens a
Not on
gap,
the Thunderbird.
right? If it does not, right? If it doesn't leave any pieces on the side that connect the windscreen frame to the rest, right? Yeah.
One last announcement for our Atlanta gang. And Dave, if you care to come to Atlanta, please join us for this event on October 8th. It's Italian Car Day again. So Italian Car
Road
Day.
trip.
It's a simple Italian-oriented car show, right? People line up their cars, and you get to walk around. You get to see really old stuff like Lancias and really new stuff like I don't even know the correct designations. I just sit there and salivate over the new Maseratis.
It's a borderline erotic experience.
It is so much fun. Yeah.
Isn't that every Sunday for us?
No, it's not borderline, Dave. It's definitely not borderline.
I don't know. I mean, even if I were planning a trip to the U.S. around that time, I don't know if I'd go to Italian Car Day. I'm like super mad at Ferrari today. Apparently.
What? You just don't like the letter F, French, Ford, and Ferrari.
That's
What's
not
wrong with
true.
this?
Usually I'm all Forza Ferrari, Tifosi. But today, apparently they went to plan D, which was for dumbass.
So a guy named Fred driving a Ferrari into a Ford dealership, you just like excoriate him right there. That would be bad. So
no, because my husband's full name is actually Frederick. So I mean, I kind of do like
the French guy in a Ford.
Put him on the line. So we lost Dave. He had to go. But again, Jay and Dave, thanks again for being our guest today. Let's do this again when we're not discussing, serious stuff, and let's have some more fun on the show whenever you have a convenient time to do so. This has been great.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I enjoyed it.
Yep. And this has been The Thing About Cars. To our listeners, thanks for joining us for another episode. We'll see you again with another episode in about a week. Take care, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Thing About Cars. We'll see you on the road.